Hello everybody, this is the Airing It Out podcast. I am Sam and welcome to our series, the 12 Days of Mindfulness-mas, where we are counting down the 12 days to Christmas with new episodes every single day with tips and tricks on how to look after yourself and the people around you during this Christmas series. We hope you enjoy, stay tuned and take care of yourselves.
Content warning. In this episode, Sam touches on topics that some viewers may find sensitive or alarming. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today's episode is going to be a little bit different from the ones that we've released so far. However, it is absolutely necessary. I would advise a content warning for sensitive listeners out there, but unfortunately the reality is that this is some people's reality. We'll always hope that you'll never have to encounter a situation where you will need the following content, but unfortunately that isn't always how things work out, and there are some people who might need them. So today we're going to be talking about some of the ways and some of the organisations in which you can contact it should you be in a state of crisis, should you need to call somebody in an emergency situation who can help you and be there for you at Christmas. And even if you are not directly affected by this, even if you do not need this and you don't anticipate needing this, you never know. You never know somebody who might, and if you can provide this information to that person on that day when they need it, you could very well be making a massive difference to that person. It's easy to associate Christmas with happy, jolly, gleeful, family-orientated times. But it's important for us on this podcast that we acknowledge and address and be there for those who aren't quite so fortunate as the rest of us. So without further ado, let's get into some signposting. First one we've got today is Papyrus. Now, Papyrus is a national charity that is dedicated to the prevention of suicide in young people. They have a telephone number, and that one is 01925 572 444. You can also email them at admin@papyrus-org.uk. Now, I just want to preface as well, all of these are going to be shown in the description of this episode. So even if you're not able to make a note of what it is that we're talking about, please just look into the description, and it might be an easier way to share some of these people than to listen through to the entire episode. So Papyrus is a national charity dedicated to the prevention of young people's suicide. This organisation is one of the more well-known ones of the ones that we're going to talk about today, and it is CALM, which stands for Campaigning Against Living Miserably. And their mission is very much so orientated towards suicide for all people and preventing that. They acknowledge that a lot of people, about 1 in 5, will have suicidal thoughts and tendencies within their life. So CALM's helpline is a professional helpline team which is there to talk if you're struggling with suicide thoughts directly, if you have lost somebody to suicide, or if you are worried about somebody else. They'll provide you a space to talk, they'll give you practical advice, and it will come from a professional staff. So you can contact CALM going through their website, or you can have a live chat with them there. You can also message them on WhatsApp to start a text conversation, or you could dial their number at 0800 58 58 58. Their lines will be open from 5 p.m. from midnight every day, 5 p.m. until midnight every day. It will be free, confidential, and anonymous. And they do preface that if their helpline isn't open, you can always call 999 or talk to Samaritans at 116 123. Mind are a mental health charity and quite a vast nation-spanning organisation. They say that their objective is to support people's minds, offering help whenever you might need it through information, advice and local services. They connect people by bringing together a network of individuals and communities, and they're also campaigning to make people's mental health an everyday priority. If you wanted to get in contact with Mind and use them, some of the things that you can do on their Get Help Now page, which you should be able to find as soon as you open up Mind, they will have links to emergency advice if you feel you might seriously harm yourself or attempt suicide, or if you need a medical help. They have a mental health A to Z, so if you want to learn more about specific topics, you might find it covered in our A to Z of mental health. I think that one might be particularly helpful for if you know somebody at Christmas who might have a mental health condition, or you want to be there for somebody a little bit more than you are now. Helps to understand them, and understanding is one of the best things that we can do. Or you can get in contact with their helplines, which you can call or email a confidential info line or legal line to ask about mental health and related legal issues. Now, their call line is 0300 123 3393. So it seems as though Mind has a broad range of tools and resources to help you out, so they might be a good one to go to if you're not sure and you just want to get some help quickly. The organisation No Panic is a registered charity that supports those living with panic attacks, phobias, obsessive compulsive disorders and other related anxiety disorders. They also provide support for carers or people who suffer with anxiety disorders. So if you've got a condition that might make you struggle more so at this time of high stress around lots of people, then No Panic might be a helpful resource for you. You can contact them at 0300 772 9844, and that is every day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 365 days a year. So if you've got a condition and you want a bit of support with it around the festive season, or if you want support for a carer, or you're a carer and you need extra support, then No Panic might be the place to go for you. When we were talking about calm, we briefly mentioned the Samaritans. Now, the Samaritans is an organisation and a charity that you can contact wherever, whenever. There'll always be somebody there to talk to you, regardless of the time of day or what it is that you're doing, which I think is an incredibly valuable thing, because regardless of your context or situation, your circumstances even, they are there. They will be there whenever you feel like picking up the phone, whenever you need to pick up the phone. So always knowing that somebody is there waiting to talk to you if you need to be spoken to, or even if you just want to have a chat and you're struggling, Samaritans will be there. We mentioned the number earlier, but we're going to say it again. Of course, we're going to say it again. 116123. And that's a free call, day or night, 365 days a year. So that is a valuable resource. Now, Shout 85258. Now, this is a lot like the Samaritans and call lines. However, this one is primarily based for text. So whether you're more comfortable texting, or you think that you might be in a situation where you're not able to talk or you're not able to go make a call, then Shout 85285 is someone that might be suitable for you. They are free, confidential, and 24-hour text messaging service for anybody who is struggling to cope. Shout say that they most commonly support texters with suicide, depression, relationships, loneliness, and self-harm. So really, whatever it is, do not feel like you might be excluded from getting in contact with Shout and giving them a text whenever, wherever, should you feel like you need to or want to. The National Domestic Abuse Helpline. I think this one speaks for itself, really. So if you're having difficulties within the home and you need somebody to talk to, the National Domestic Abuse Helpline is at 0808 2000 247. And you can speak to a member of their team day or night, completely confidential, non-judgmental, support and information on your options. I think at Christmas this can be a very difficult one, because domestic abuse, unfortunately, goes up at Christmas. You're surrounded by family, you are in a higher stress environment, and unfortunately for some people that is their reality. Something that I've also been made privy to recently from Shell, who recently did my hair, is that if you dial 999 and for whatever reason you are unable to talk, so you cannot have a conversation, whether you're in a room with somebody or for whatever circumstance it might be, if you press 55, that will alert the emergency responder that you are in a crisis situation and you are unable to talk. So once again, if you dial 999 and you're in a situation where you need emergency help, but you're not able to talk because you might let details go or might let somebody in the room know, then if you press 55, that will alert the emergency contact that you are in a crisis situation. So even if you cannot verbally talk, you have options. The National Domestic Abuse Helpline is most certainly one of them. But even if you call 999 and hit 55, there's always an alternative, there's always a way out, and there's always going to be somebody to help, whatever it is that you're dealing with. So there you have it. Those are the signposting organisations and tools that you might find useful, or somebody you might know finds useful. Even if you're not a part of one of these situations and you don't expect it, somebody who you know might be. And if buts and maybes, if you know what these are and where to go if a crisis situation does happen, then that means you can be there for somebody else. We've got to be there for each other at Christmas. It's easy to get wrapped up, no pun intended, in family business and whatever it is that you're doing on the day. But let's be mindful of other people, and let's try to keep an ear out and an eye out for the people that we know and we love, and consider what might be happening behind closed doors. Thank you for tuning in today. Have a Merry Christmas. This one was a bit more on the serious side, but unfortunately that's the nature of the beast. But it's important and it's valuable information. So thank you for sticking around and listening. I hope that you never have to use this, but if you do, hopefully some of the numbers that we've shared might be of use. Take care.
If you were affected by anything in today's episode, please check our description for the links to all the charities that we have mentioned, their phone numbers and contact information. Make sure you're getting the right help and support this holiday season.